in general, um, I think everyone can benefit. I mean, anyone will and can benefit from an app software like Notion. And why is that? So basically, if you think of things that you need to remember and manage in your head. So people used to have, I mean, some people still have like a notebook or a phone, phone book, address book, whatever it's called, where you keep your data. It's organized in some sort of manner, right?
Hmm.
So alphabetically or whatever, if it's a kind of a manual thing. I mean, physical analog.
Mm.
So imagine all of that stuff could be digitized. And obviously, there is a lot of different kinds of software that can help you do that. But Notion, I believe, it goes way beyond just keeping this stuff for you. And what I mean by that, why would you need Notion? It's basically to organize and manage your stuff or work, life, or both. Some people use Notion to literally organize their whole life, like whatever that is, from planning holiday to buying gifts for Christmas to organizing a conference for your company.
Mm.
So literally you can plan out your whole life, and this app or this software will help you manage that. Notion is described in Wikipedia, I think, as a freemium productivity and note-taking web application. Okay, so as I said, I think it that goes beyond the way beyond that description. So that description doesn't really do justice to that app. And if you, especially if you work in tech,
Mm.
or not necessarily in tech, like you use tech for work, you will benefit from Notion on some level.
So that's almost everybody.
Like literally almost 99.99%. Not probably not that, but I'm talking about our context, right?
Yeah.
We're from London. Um, so basically, everybody, yeah.
One sec. Can you hear? I can hear a little bit of feedback. Is it possible to turn me down a little bit, just a little bit?
Yeah.
Yeah, just in case. I think we're good. Wait, if I
Um,
talk really if I talk really loud, I can still no.
no, 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 it's good. No,
Yeah, yeah, okay, cool.
no, I can hear you well.
All right, brilliant, brilliant. Yeah, yeah, okay,
Yeah.
brilliant. So you're saying everybody can benefit, and also you're saying it's quite versatile, as in it's
Yes.
okay.
I didn't actually say that, but
I'm implied. You
you
implied.
said you implied that.
You
But
implied.
it's actually a good implication.
Good.
No, the thing is, it is very versatile. It may seem now that I'm like talking absolute nonsense, but as we're gonna go through all the elements and what it does, what it don't do, and all of that stuff, you will kind of see what it can, what the
But
software is capable of, right?
okay.
Okay, so moving on. How I understand Notion,
Hmm.
there are like three things: databases, which
Hmm.
sounds quite scary, but it's nothing else than organizing and managing information.
Yeah.
That information can be, some very complex writings or code or whatever that is, but it can also be recipes. It
Mm.
can be movies that you've really loved, and you want to have some sort of repository of all the movies you watched for some reason.
So we're kind of thinking like lists, text, these kind of things that when we say
Yeah,
database.
list text, but not only that, it can be actual data as well.
Yeah. So
you
it could be
know
numbers too.
list
Okay.
text files, uh, music files, and all of that stuff. It can
Right.
be links from the internet, places.
Mm.
So anything that you can think of that it's some sort of information in any form,
Hmm.
right, that you can organize and manage that information. So you can retrieve that information, and it's easily accessible for you. And what I mean by that, so filtering, tagging, and all of this stuff. Next thing is project management. So project management, like software like Trello, tracking progress and making sure that everyone is doing the right thing on the team, or if you're on track, and so on and
That the
so forth.
project is on track, right? Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, general project management tools. And again, that project can be, you know coming up with a new app for autonomous vehicles, or it can be organizing your Christmas. So,
Mm-hmm.
everyone pull their weight from your family.
Okay.
And of course, there is AI sprinkled on top of it, which is
Right.
brilliant, right? Because obviously there is an AI in it. I mean, how could it not be?
So what I'm hearing, right, is that like some of those are, I guess, three of the things that are like most relevant for anyone working in the 21st century, right? The ability to like organize and manage your information, and I'm guessing navigate it easily as well. Is it's like probably searchability and stuff comes with it, especially
Yeah,
if you've got like then even like down to project management. So I think like that's one of the things where like that those capabilities I'd usually be using apps so like I use OneNote, Google Keep for different things, and then I'll use Trello, and like I have all
yeah,
of those apps, but the way I've got them set up, they don't really talk together. So having
yeah.
that on with the actual information sounds super useful. And then the AI integration, you're right, is like the cherries slash icing slash
Core
ganache
slash
filling.
core as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and of course, this is kind of a dumbed down version of how I understand Notion.
Sure.
But there are some more advanced stuff like database, different relation between databases and stuff. So you have dynamic databases and kind of things like that. But I'm gonna talk about this a bit later. But the main idea, I would say, those are those three core components. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
Sorry, I sound like a crackhead, but
I didn't know what crackhead sounded
I
like,
don't know.
but
Well,
now I do.
now
Now I do. Thank you.
Now you know it, right? Okay, we're gonna go through what I called evaluation checklist. So we're gonna go through all of those, I don't know, 10 or 9 things
Hmm.
that I would want to know if I'm investing in new software. I'm investing time and probably money. So I would like to know all of those things. Okay, the price. The price is obviously a massive factor whether you're going to use the software or not, whether it's in a company or for your personal use. And it's freemium. And you might say, well, is it? Is it really freemium? Like those software that you use. So sign up for free, make an account, and then you have a half of a project with like one functionality,
Yeah.
and then you have to pay. Well, you can do that, but first
Exactly.
credit card.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Those kind of bullshit sign up. And I have to say that Notion, and disclaimer, I don't work for Notion. I'm not associated with Notion. Notion is not paying for this video.
Yeah.
I don't have an uncle working for Notion. There is no relation between me and Notion. Yeah.
Okay.
Notion is truly freemium, meaning that they do offer pretty much the software for free
Mhm.
with almost no limitations. There are the paid versions as well, which
Okay.
open up if you have a company with a lot of employees. If you want to use AI in a great capacity, meaning that you use it all the time, then obviously you're gonna have to pay extra.
Right.
But with the free account, you can basically use this app to a full extent. Yeah, almost like 99.9% to full extent. So it is truly freemium, and I'm still amazed every day. Like I wake up and I'm like, fuck, I'm so amazed with Notion. I'm amazed, like this is so good, and it's almost for free. I mean, sorry, it is for free, only if you need some extra capabilities. But
Mm.
even then, just pull up the pricing. Even then, um not fucking Norton. Even then, it's
Can't
actually
I
not
can't.
that expensive.
Oh yeah, there we go. There we go. Cool.
So free,
Hmm.
free, and then you get $10 a month, which is like £8, I guess, 750 maybe. And you get invite up to 100 guests.
So what's a guest in that case? Like, do you is it mean does it
So
mean you
it's
can
your collaborator. It's
so you
like we
can
collaborate. I'm gonna invite you.
yeah
I can invite 10 of you.
so you can have
And it
like a team of 10 people working on one piece of work or one plan essentially
pretty
with
much
for free. That's
for free. That's ridiculous, right?
yeah that's
That's
like
usually like
I think it was Slack. It was like if you want to invite more than two people to a huddle, you have to go like do a 30-day trial, and then we're gonna charge you. So that's like okay, that's good.
that it's very attractive.
Yeah.
So they're doing something really interesting, you
So
know.
and when we're talking about this, we're not just talking about like oh they can edit a to-do list or a checklist or it'll be on like
No,
a
they have full functionality.
yeah
Yeah. So it's truly freemium. So listen, this is good.
yeah. I'm like I like the Top Boy references by the way. I still need to watch that one. So the functionality sounds great. Let's see it. Let's see it. What does it look like? What is a
Okay, ease of use.
okay?
Okay, so ease of use.
Hmm.
It's extremely easy to use and very intuitive.
Okay.
Kind of.
Okay. Is it like a something
Not
I could
really.
just turn on and just go?
No, actually,
Okay.
not at all.
Right. Okay.
So,
It's not that easy to use. Okay, go on.
no, it's easy to use once you go through a simple training. So, it's one of those things that once you go through basic training and you find your way around it,
Mm-hmm.
it's beautiful, it's amazing, but it's not an app that you're just gonna go jump in. I don't know anything about it, I just want to start using it, and it's so intuitive that I'm gonna just start using it. No, that's this is just not happening. You
Hmm.
need to go through a simple training because they have specific logic in the software and they have a specific way of thinking. um but it's not very difficult, that's the point, you
Yeah.
know. It's not very difficult, and once you get it, it flows,
Right.
you know. And let's just not get into that design, you know. You need to give it to a child and the child needs to figure it out on its own in like 1.6 millisecond to, you know, for the product to be. No, that's bullshit, man. You need to go through a little bit of that basic training and then you actually unlock that power um of all those functionalities. And we're
Yeah.
gonna, yeah, so it is definitely worth your spending, I don't know, depending on your digital literacy capabilities and tech capabilities,
Mm.
of how quick you will pick that up.
Yeah.
But spend 2 hours with it, with a tutorial, read up some stuff, it'll be good to go, you
Awesome.
know.
Okay.
2 hours is not a big investment.
No.
Documentation and training.
Oh, so this
So
is where you would go to get those basics. I was going to
this
ask
is
that.
where
Yeah.
you would go to one. So this is the official documentation,
Hmm.
which is very neat. They describe everything here, as I said, very nicely organized, really well thought through.
Mm.
So it just works, you know. It's all right there. So you have to really have a really would have you would really have to have a good excuse saying, oh, you know, I can't use Notion because it's too difficult. And it's like, really? Really, you have it right there, you know, with videos and gifs. They literally take your hand. Oh, look at that. That was
They
that
take you.
was unscripted.
They
Take your
take you by the
hand
hand.
and walk you through with beautiful gifs.
Yeah.
And like, come on, you know, it's ridiculous how well that's put together. So documentation and training is very well made. Plus there's a lot of tutorials on YouTube,
Okay.
how to use Notion, how people use Notion in their own way, and so on and so forth.
Mm.
So no excuse if you want to start using it and be a serious user. there is nothing stopping you. Moving on, scalability. So this is a screenshot from their website, and they claim that it's caters for scales for companies of all sizes.
I mean, they would say that though, right?
They would say that. But
Okay.
um, to support this,
Mm,
I believe because their design in nature is very modular,
mm,
and it clearly kind of can manage a lot of people, whether you have two people in your team or 5,000 people in your team.
so
I
easy.
believe Notion can handle it, you know? And they keep improving a lot of their functionalities exactly for that. And
Mm,
there are some big companies who use Notion as well. I'm not gonna say I'm not in a liberty to say that. No, I'm kidding. I just don't know anyone of there off top of my head.
right.
But yeah, I believe it's definitely scalable,
Mm,
and no, actually I do know, like those YouTubers that I was talking about, some
mm-hmm.
big YouTubers use Notion to manage their channels. I'm talking about big channels here, yeah.
Right, yeah.
Um so yeah, so it's definitely scalable.
Right.
And that will come in as a kind of a no-brainer once we go through
Was
some.
if it's scalable in terms of like, okay, you want to use it with lots of people, but like we also mean scalable in terms of like if I wanted to use it for so say I was using it for a project that I'm working on at
Yeah.
work or something, and then I'm like, well, actually, there's another project I can probably put that on. But then maybe if I've got like a separate, like personal work life stuff, could you put all of it in one place and it's easy
Yes.
to manage and find stuff still?
Yeah. Yeah. So exactly. So very good question.
Oh,
Yeah. You definitely scalable on all different fronts. So you can also have, what I really like about Notion, that you have different accounts and you can jump from different accounts very easily, right?
right, okay.
So you don't have to mix them. So
Ah,
if I have emails, for example, my work email and my
hmm,
personal email, I don't want to keep that mixing up. So I just switch the account very quickly and easily. So this is, yeah, so that's very good. And if you want to mix them, you can keep them separate, but yes, it is scalable on many different kind of levels,
all right,
not only
nice,
with people but with projects and accounts and so on.
cool, okay,
Yeah.
good to know.
Security. So
Right,
security is a little bit one of those, a little bit of a gray area.
mm,
And this is because, of course, Notion says that they say that they're very secure and the data is encrypted
hmm,
to some extent. I think it's encrypted when it sits on the servers and while it's moving, while the data is moving. But according to my research, there is quite a few people saying that one of the biggest problems of Notion that its security, it's not kind of like end to end encrypted like you would expect from
like WhatsApp or something, right?
yeah, like you'd expect from WhatsApp.
Mm,
But again, this is based on your personal usage and your personal choice. So in here I'm linking that video.
hmm,
That video will be in the description, about someone is doing, that little lovely lady is doing a deep dive on the Notion security and why it might be problematic for some people, right?
mm,
So depending on how you're going to use it, and depending on how what is it that you're putting in Notion,
mm,
you may need to think about if this is the right choice for you. For me, I don't mind because I'm not putting any super sensitive data on it, right?
right.
But obviously, you should not put any sensitive data like passwords and your bank details in an app like that. But that goes to pretty much all the other apps that you use.
Mm,
The only place you can put sensitive data like that is those are specialized apps for
mm,
it. That's the only place. The other thing that I could think of is company data, right? So not like top level sensitive, but still sensitive data. I
Okay.
don't know, customer basis and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So again, you need to do your own research if this is the right choice. Yeah.
Mm,
Obviously, Notion, it's big. Yeah. They claim, and they're very transparent from what I've seen
mm,
about their security practices, which I really like. They say upfront what technology they're using, and for the security and all of that, and being transparent about it. So, like, it's all right there. You need to make an informed decision, do your research, do your due diligence, all of that, and then make a decision. For me, it works.
I guess like because stuff like Amazon Web Services, I think that's got like quite a good um it's I guess the data and security thing is one. There's obviously the thing of like, can hackers get in, and obviously that's gonna partially be dependent on how well you manage your own machine. Like if you're accessing it in a cafe and people looking over your shoulder, then like obviously that's like there's some things you can't take care of with tech. But one of the other ones is like if it goes down, like the server's gonna just like is it based in a server somewhere where it could crash? But like, I think Amazon Web Services is like quite well distributed, like
Yeah, yeah,
cloud sort of
yeah, yeah, yeah.
infrastructure, right? And it's
So it
obviously quite
is, yeah,
secure in terms of
it's
hacking and
in terms of like security, it's stable.
mm,
They I believe they know that they keep a lot of important data for people around the
yeah,
world. Yeah, so they
yeah,
can't afford to just go, oh, sorry, we lost your data, mate.
yeah. That's kind of what
You
I'm
know what I
getting at.
mean? I mean,
Yeah,
that would not fly
yeah,
with a lot of people. So, and Notion has a really good reputation, which I'm going to touch upon a bit later.
mm,
But again, to me, it sounds good.
yeah,
To some people, it might be like, oh shit, they're not secure, and this and that. But as I was saying yesterday, if you start really looking into it and thinking, oh, can hackers get in? Yes, they can. Whatever you're using, they can. Yeah. It's a different question. What would incentivize them to do that? Right? Like, do you have a multi-million company that is based on, your, like, it has a lot of sensitive data? Then obviously you need to have some extremely strong
yeah,
cybersecurity in place, right?
yeah, yeah.
If this is your recipe book, you know you can even share it with the hackers and say enjoy it. Do you know what I mean?
No,
So
I don't want them to know how much ginger I used.
yeah.
No.
Yeah, so basically it's they can get in.
Yeah.
Usually that's the case. They just can get in, but do they want to?
Mm,
That's the question. Okay, so moving on, security, do your own research, decide it for yourself, linking that video, people doing a very deep dive into how Notion works in comparison to other different technologies. So this is on you. Integrations. So integrations um, are great, right? Everyone loves integrations as long as they fucking work,
nothing
right?
worse than an integration that doesn't work. Or the worst
Mm,
is when it's like, oh, it's now integrated, and all you can pull across is like a title or something,
yeah. Yeah.
and you have to fill the rest yourself or
We
copy and paste
offer
it,
integration for this or that, and that literally that's the case,
just
right?
the title.
Integration in Notion is actually very impressive. Like, look at the amount of apps.
I'm seeing some really big names here,
Yeah.
like Zapier, Zoom, Slack, uh, like Tableau. Okay, that's
Yeah.
data stuff. Wow, all right. OneDrive, nice. Miro. Oh, yep, of course. Like, all right, I've heard good things about Loom before. Okay, Jira, obviously. That's a
Obviously.
that's a that's got a lot of features as well. The two to combine would be amazing. I'm imagining it.
Google
I have
Drive. Good.
TTT for sure. Google Drive. Wait a second. That means I have TTT, so you could set this up for your personal stuff and have it. interact with your smart home. Anyway, I'll figure that out later. Okay. Google Figma. Yep. This. Anita loves that one. Dropbox. Wow, man. It's a lot of stuff, and that's big, big names.
Big names, yeah, big names,
Canva.
and yeah. So as you can see, I don't think I have to dwell on that. They do integrate with a lot of stuff,
Mm,
and I tested like Miro integration. I don't know why
mm.
it says new. I probably they updated that, but yeah, and it worked well, man. Look, you have your board right inside.
Whoa, hold on. The board appears inside your Notion. As in you can. It was just is just an image, or is it the
I'm
actual?
not. We can test that.
Okay,
If
no,
this
I
is
want
a
to play. Yeah,
link,
there's a lot for me. I
yeah,
want to play with a lot of these, so I will
yeah,
work my way around to it. But that
yeah, yeah,
sounds
yeah,
that
yeah.
sounds awesome.
Built in.
Because even if it's
Yeah,
just for summaries, like sometimes I think we were talking about before, but like how uh, it sometimes you do the work visually, and then you need a summary and just to refer back
yeah,
to it. So this means you don't have to go out of a program and into another one.
yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah,
cool.
yeah, yeah.
But
But anyway, like, long story short, this shit integrates. You
I
know,
like it.
well. And while we add integrations, I'm gonna touch upon two other stuff.
Mm,
Data import. So that might be very important for some people. Import data into Notion. So all of this stuff
yeah, yeah.
imports. So this is beautiful. Trello, Asana, Confluence, CSV data, HTML, Word. So look, you can import all of this stuff.
Wait, so hold on a second. I've just had another one. So could you use this to, so okay, HTML, but not, well, I mean, I'm guessing you can use it then to write code and, but basically
I don't
code.
know what
You wouldn't do that. You'd use GitHub or something. That doesn't make any sense.
yeah, I don't know
Yeah,
what
okay.
is how you import that.
Um, be interesting to see. But like, and I see Evernote on there, so I'm guessing you can pull stuff in
Yeah,
from it's like from
yeah,
competitor products.
yeah. Very
Nice.
smart Notion.
Yeah,
Very
yeah.
smart.
A
Uh,
smart Notion from Notion. Good. I like it.
yeah, smart Notion. Yeah. So as you can see, this is really cool because how much data you already have out there in Google Docs,
Yeah,
in CSV, on Trello, plus Evernote that you tried that free trial, then you find out, oh fuck that, I'm not paying that.
yeah.
Um, right. So this is really good. I myself, I was putting stuff, I think, from Evernote, definitely from CSV
Mm.
and from Google Docs. So very useful, very, very useful. And when we're talking about integrations, this doesn't really, it's not really an integration. I don't know why I'm talking about this right here, but let's do it. Notion is very well known of for that you can customize everything.
Okay.
So those are different themes of the Notion that you can buy or download from other users. So as you can see, people use Notion and they really make it their own. So it's not like software that you have, you have two themes, light and dark, and this is pretty much it, which is still good if you have a dark theme, right?
Hmm.
But people can actually customize that to a great extent. So as you can see here, um, you have different icons, different fonts, different illustrations in here, and it just looks very different in
So
each of those.
so we haven't actually gone into the actual program itself. So like or the like the the web app itself to
Yeah.
see like how things work. But like, is the bar and all of these sorts of things and the I guess it's those panels and the coloring, all of that is like changeable.
Yes. Yeah. So I'm gonna bring this up later again when
Okay.
we actually see the actual Notion. Yeah, maybe that was a little
Yeah,
bit out of place, but anyway,
it's
I'm
fine.
gonna see you the actual. I'm gonna show you the actual Notion, how it looks in like in its bare form.
Mm,
Yeah,
vanilla.
vanilla, and then we're gonna see those static Notion themes
Hmm.
to inspire your digital workspace. Beautiful. Okay, updates.
Okay.
Notion regularly updates their stuff every couple of weeks.
Hmm.
So they are on top of it. That's all I'm going to say about that. There are consistent regular updates. They consistently adding functionalities and do bug fixes and all of that stuff. This is all
Okay.
what you need to know.
Right.
Yeah.
Good. So it's like just to clarify on there. So basically, it's not some kind of thing where you'll be going on and then event like the one that really burned me was I can't remember which tool it was, but I used to use it to keep track of notes. And then they sent an email like, "Oh, we're closing down in a couple of months," and that was it. You had to like download all your notes in some unusable format, and then you're just stuck. It's just like, sorry, man, tough, it's gone. I thought it was Evernote, but it's not Evernote. It was another one. So basically, that updates thing tells me that it's unlikely to that's unlikely to happen with Notion. I'm not gonna be like handed my stuff in a CSV and
Yeah.
told to
Oh
try and
my.
find another provider.
Oh my God. Um, no, that is very unlikely to happen.
Yeah, cool.
So before I'm gonna talk about user feedback, I'm just gonna touch upon support.
Mm,
So when we went to the training and documentation, that's all very good. They also have a decent support,
right.
but obviously, if you're using a freemium version,
Hmm.
if you drop them an email, they're not gonna get back to you within 6 minutes,
Right. Okay.
right? It will probably take 1, 2, 3 days, something like that, for them to get back to you. And this is like, come on, how much free stuff do you want? Do you know what I mean? Like, because sometimes I get myself into a place and like, oh shit, yeah, Notion has a shit support because I emailed them from my free account about a problem that they do for free, and they still took 2 days to reply. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
like you need to get a reality check. Yeah,
Manage expectations. Yeah.
this is a free software that you're using, and they're offering all this free stuff, and they still reply to you to try to solve your problem, you know and you're still annoyed. I mean, it's just like, so that's that. User feedback. Product Hunt is a website, for people who don't know. It's a product website, for basically evaluating digital products,
Right.
and it's a very cool and popular website to have a look up, to have a look at, and you can see all the cool stuff that is coming out, and you can search for software and see what people think about it. And Notion, as you can see, have 1.7k 5-star reviews, which is ridiculously high.
S- So, and that's not like 4.7 or something. That's like five.
Well, I see five full
See anything.
stars.
That's pretty good. That's
That
very,
is
very
very
good.
impressive, to have
Yeah.
consistently. And Product Hunt is not one of those that you have, fake bot reviews and stuff like that. It's actually a place
Yeah.
where you go to find out about new software. And it's, let me just pull this up quickly.
Mm.
And they have like a ranking, like a rank, sorry. Um, yeah, man. And you actually, this is a genuine website.
Yeah, yeah.
So they have a really good score.
But
Notion has a really good score in there.
nice. Ah, it's got it's got like 100 more followers since you took that screenshot, it looks like.
That's funny because that was yesterday.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
yeah, so as you can see, and they have verified users. So this is a
Mm.
genuine website to actually get the feedback. Um, okay, user feedback.
Nice.
Let's dive in. Okay, enough of the
Yeah.
um
I've had the trailer, the promo. Let's see
yeah,
the
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 trying
the
to
main.
upsell.
I got my credit card here. I'm ready to pay money.
Yeah, I mean,
Send my
unfortunately,
bank details.
I would not see a penny from the start subscription if you go for it. So I don't really care if you're gonna subscribe or not. I really don't. Unless you can pass me the details, I'll hook you up. but the subscription might be a little bit more expensive, if you know what I mean. But just saying. Okay, that's how Notion looks like from when you open it. And now,
Okay.
two things. You can
Hmm.
use the web version app, which is just as good as the app. I'm not using the web version, I'm using the desktop app.
Okay.
Um, and they have a Mac version as well as PC version. Yeah.
Is there a mobile app?
Yeah, there is a mobile app.
Oh, okay.
So you covered on all fronts.
Yeah.
So that's how it looks. It looks very plain and you would say even boring.
And that's
Um,
where those themes come in, though, right?
but yeah, that's where the customizations can kick in. So you
Mm.
see, that's how it looks when it looks like kind of those are the bare bones,
Hmm.
right? And then we were here, and you could basically, you see, people make it beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, they make it lovely. So what I really like about that you can customize it to an extent where you actually feel like it's your own, your own dashboard.
Mm.
And I think that's really important. If you're interacting with the software few times a day, or like some time a day, you spend the time with it, you do want to feel like it's your space, and not some generic word like looking
Mm. Yeah. You
death
you want to feel at
screen.
home.
Yeah, you want to feel at home. Nicely said. Well said. Okay, so very simple interface,
Mm.
simple yet extremely powerful. um Sorry, I'm gonna delete this. That's from the previous session, just to have a clean slate.
Okay.
Left hand side we have the navigation bar, and the right hand side we have the kind of the body, the content,
Hmm.
right? And now there are there are few concepts in Notion. So first of all, in Notion you work with pages and sub pages and all of that stuff. So as you can see here, you have those kind of pre-made pages, um, and they kind of created those pages to show you how you can use Notion, right? So I'm gonna just go through a quick kind of rundown here. Um, in the page in itself, you can have different functionalities. As you can see, they look different, right? You have some kind of highlight here, you have a tick box, you have a bookmark, you have a link to a sub page, you have again some links in a different format with some really cool emojis, right? I love emojis. You have a task list that looks like Trello now. Oh, wow. That's
Hmm.
surprising. You have a journal. Again, different view. You have some different tags in here. What is going on? Like status, more emojis. Okay, so this is starting to look a little bit more complex than I
Yeah.
would
This isn't
think,
just like Google Keep. This is like a lot more than just
right?
basic notes, right? Like, because I
Mm,
know you definitely can't have a like if you take Google Keep or OneNote for example, you can have a checklist and stuff, but you start adding a table. OneNote you can add a table, but you can't add a table in Keep. And also like you start something you can't have a Trello kind of
yeah,
board.
so
Mm.
exactly. So you have a page, and let's just create a new page. I'm going to add a new page. Um, let's say this is a YouTube video. YouTube video. Okay. You can use an empty page.
Hmm.
You can import stuff. Obviously, you can use some of the templates, or you can use those are also the template. Sorry, those are like the building blocks, which I'm gonna touch upon in a second.
Mm.
Um, I'm gonna use empty page, but before, just gonna touch upon quickly about the AI. So You see that magic thing which appears everywhere right now? I'm
Yeah.
just waiting that moment when I'm gonna approach my microwave with that button.
Yeah.
I'm gonna press that button on the microwave, and the full roast chicken's gonna just come out of thin air, generated. That'd be lovely, right? That'd be-
Man, generative AI has gone to another level there.
Yeah, yeah. Right about YouTube video. Okay, write about YouTube video. Let's say write me a short script for a video about feeding ducks. Okay. I mean,
Okay.
how ridiculous is that? Are you looking for a fun outdoor activity to do with your family?
So
Why
this
not?
is this is basically like ChatGPT inside of this
Yeah.
thing, right? Or do we know if it's ChatGPT or Bard or
Let me just see.
it's not important. It's doing something. I mean, it could be useful to know, but I guess because if that is like GPT-4 or something, that is insane. And hold on, this means that alongside your notes, can you?
uh,
Oh, I'll wait. I'll wait
let's
till you.
see.
Yeah. In the meantime, I've heard that you shouldn't actually feed bread
Yes.
to ducks.
Yeah.
It makes them.
Notion uses ChatGPT 3.5, I believe.
Okay, all right, cool. So,
Um,
it's not four, but that's all right. That's all right. It's 3.5 is decent.
yeah, but it says you can also integrate ChatGPT 4 and stuff. And look, if they don't do it
Oh,
today, they do it tomorrow.
yeah, yeah, this is true.
So, I mean, that's not a problem.
Yeah.
So, what did you say about the bread?
Yeah, you shouldn't feed bread to ducks. It's bad for them, apparently.
What does it say to feed bread?
No, no, it says you should feed them cracked corn, oats, and birdseed. That's
You
correct.
see?
I don't know about cooked rice, but that's a for another video. Anyway, go.
Yeah, the duck video that we had scheduled, right?
Yeah,
But anyway, so I mean, just that is ridiculous. Yeah, the
yeah.
AI connection with that, bang! I have a script about feeding ducks. I mean, the hell. Okay, so this was the little AI presentation, and now let's just dive into the idea of the page. So you have the
Hmm.
page, but how the page works. So when I'm hovering over this stuff here, you see six dots,
Hmm.
right? The dots, not ducks, six dots signify that this is a content block, and that's how it's called. The
Hmm.
content block can be moved around anywhere here,
Okay.
right? So that's how this is like the basic logic of the page. If I hover over here, you can see I can add. If I click that little plus, you can add a content block, and look at that basic blocks. It can be a text, it can be another page, which would be a sub page to that page. It can be a to-do
Okay.
list, it can be heading, it can be a table, toggle list, quote, call out, it can be AI, image, bloody video, code, file. I mean, is your nose bleeding
Wow,
already?
it's so yeah, gallery, calendars, timelines.
Calendar, summary
Awesome.
AI. I mean,
Okay, okay.
literally button, breadcrumbs, sync, block. I mean, what the hell is
So
going on?
there's like many options here.
Yeah, long
Crazy.
story short, you can
Can
see that
embed
that list
stuff.
is ridiculous,
Oh,
right?
and these are the integrations. You can embed stuff from different places. Ah,
Like,
yeah.
okay, right? Okay, so now you have an idea that the block is not just about do it.
It's not just like text
It's not
or
like a list and then maybe some other list and maybe some table. No,
it's
this is
basically
actually
anything, right?
powerful,
Yeah.
meeting a person, ping someone, get not so the inline equation. I mean, a tweet, add
Oh,
previews of files, embed PDF or Google Maps.
so
Literally, you
wow.
can
Okay.
you can run a world
Yeah.
in a page.
So if you can use, okay, then this I guess this is probably something we need to look at more, maybe
Yeah.
do
Oh
more
yeah.
investigation on. But like, presumably, if you put in a table and say like, okay, here are all the different places I want to visit, right?
Yeah.
And here are some dates. And you could have like, I'm wondering if you can get AI to populate the dates of that table with like an itinerary or something, and it write an
Yeah,
itinerary. And then, do you know what I mean? As in like, can you use the information in your notes, use AI to interact with it, and then have that be then creating more notes that you wouldn't have to then.
I would say that you probably can do that, but I'm not gonna say that you can 100% because I've
Yeah,
never done it. Yeah, and
sure.
this
But
is
this is what,
something that we would need to have like additional research to.
but that is what I
Um,
would be. That's very interesting to me. I'm
look, look,
curious.
look, look, look. Action items. Extract action items from current page.
This is what we're talking about. Yeah.
Generate content from any instructions. That well,
Oh
there is your
man.
answer,
Yeah,
mate.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
This is it. That's crazy
Jesus.
because we I think it's one of the things before where people were talking about like meeting notes, right? Where you're saying, oh, so you just be able to have a meeting and then you be able to say to the AI, like, hey, just tell me the action points from the meeting and it will write you a
Yeah.
list. Essentially, this is that you could take your notes in Notion and then it can populate a list of action items. That's crazy. Awesome.
I think what just happened here, what we witnessed,
Mm.
is the Notion AI heard your request and they just fucking generated that in a zero point 0.2 millisecond.
Should I head into the kitchen and look for that chicken in the microwave?
um, okay, so as you can see, there is a ridiculous functionality within a page, right?
Yeah.
So you can add the text, you can add all of this stuff. And now I'm going to touch upon something else. You saw that little plus. So you're
Mm.
typing, typing, typing. Then you go to your mouse or a trackpad. I don't know. Are you a mouse user or a
I'm a mouse
trackpad?
user.
You mouse all the
Love
way.
love rodents for sure. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. You're one of those. Um,
Go on. You
so,
got a Wacom there or something. Is it what you got?
yeah, I have different technology. I have multi.
Do you have a mouse?
I have a mouse. I
Oh,
have a
there you go.
trackpad and a Wacom.
All right. Okay.
So,
Calm down.
so
Calm
the
down.
the only thing that is missing, I think, is the voice input.
You got a
But
microphone, so
yeah, yeah, actually,
yeah.
I do have a microphone. But anyway,
Cool.
for the super users, this is all the super users should now stop what they're doing and listen to that.
Mm.
Notion is very well um, designed in terms of shortcuts. So as you can see here, you press um, you press space for AI. That's interesting.
Hey.
So I just pressed space and like draft with an AI, insert this custom AI block, and then there is
So
like Jesus, yeah.
so hold on a second. Let me just I know this is a bit of an aside,
Crazy.
but like I was talking to people before about like we both work we do work in universities and we were talking we started all those conversations about like people potentially using ChatGPT to write essays and we were talking about
Yeah,
the challenges of that. If someone is I mean a lot of people I'd imagine you could start writing your essay in Notion with the bullet points and all of this and
yeah.
drawing your sources together and pulling your research together. Like at that point if someone says, "Well, tell the students not to use ChatGPT," I mean that ship has sailed, man. They don't have to go to a website. They just hit space and they're already generating stuff with AI. They hit one button and the AI assistant
I
is
mean,
there
let's
in the
face it, yeah. Like in UK education, they need to really pull their shit because,
yeah.
dude,
It's a losing anyway. This is a slightly different topic, but anyway, we're
yeah,
talking about the super
yeah.
users and shortcut buttons, and the spacebar is one of those shortcut buttons.
Spacebar, it's a new one, and it's clearly dedicated to AI translate. I mean,
Ah,
it.
translations as well.
Come on, man, this is
Oh my
ridiculous.
gosh.
Find action items. Explain this.
Okay,
Damn it.
come on, let's go because I want to start using this.
Yeah. I mean, okay, space, and then what I was actually getting into is a slash, right?
Uh,
Bang.
no
So you
offense,
don't
but the
have to
slash isn't as
go.
cool as the spacebar.
Yeah, it's not as cool, but it is still pretty cool, I have
Okay,
to
go
say,
on. Show me,
because
show me.
you don't have to move your hand away from the keyboard. You just type in, man, you hit
Mm,
slash, and then you can do to-do list or toggle list, link to a page, whatever. So Notion
right,
is
right.
very well known or well, as I said, well
Interesting.
designed with the shortcuts. And I had this here, and they have just look at all the shortcuts that I'm not talking about just slash, because
Hmm.
slash just opens that window where you can choose stuff,
Yeah.
but you have a lot of shortcuts, like
Oh, I see.
type
Yeah.
double asterisks on either side of the text to bold it.
Yep. Yep.
So look, if you want to be a true super user, you learn few of those and you're unstoppable, mate.
I
You
think
just
it for me it feels like it's the sort of thing where if you're using if you do coding for instance, this is gonna just be like second nature anyway. So like
yeah,
for me
exactly.
it's
If you're good with your keyboard,
yeah,
um,
yeah,
and you actually spend a lot of time in Notion learning few of those, yeah, the ones that you would use the most, it's just absolute no brainer. You know, it's like learning a keyboard shortcuts for like any software.
yeah.
I
So
mean,
for sure, and I'm guessing as well that's the other thing is that when people see a list of shortcuts, normally what happens is they might have blown like it's too many, I can't
yeah,
learn all of these, right? But then actually the job that you need to do, usually in the software, is something where you only be using a few of those to start off
five,
with.
yeah.
Five.
Re-
Oh yeah,
requires five things to remember, right? I
exactly.
mean,
So you start off with a few, and then maybe as you get better, you find oh, there's that feature I know to use every now and then it's got its own shortcut, and you just
yeah,
incorporate them little by little, right? So it's not like you have
exactly.
to
Yeah.
learn them and
So
memorize them all.
plus, sometimes you learn one shortcut and it
Mm.
already like just hitting this the slash
Yeah,
doesn't make me do this. Move
yeah,
my hands and go to the plus and click, and do you know what I mean? Like just that one little shortcut. Okay,
yeah.
so we went through the page,
Hmm.
ridiculous functionalities of the page. We went through the shortcuts.
Hmm.
So as you can see, you can do a lot with the shortcuts. So let's now do something a little bit different. I mean, not different. Let's just combine this with the power of databases. So
Right.
what I'm going to do now, I'm going to hit my famous slash button and I'm going to go to database, inline, full page database. Bang. We have a database now. Let's say
Okay.
movies,
Hmm.
movies. And I'm gonna put in, let's say,
Unforgiven, Clint Eastwood.
Top Boy. It's a movie, it's a series, but fuck it. Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
Um,
Cobra Kai.
no, I don't like that one, and I haven't seen it.
Don't like that one. It's too
Okay, we have a simple table. Looks simple. It doesn't look like anything,
good. Hmm.
but it's actually not. The looks might be deceiving. Okay, let's add tags to it. Good, amazing. Okay. Okay, so we have the tags here. What
Right.
else can we add in here? How about I'm gonna add one of those functionalities here. So look at that. You can add
Status maybe.
status.
Right.
Started, done.
Right.
I've actually watched all of them. Done.
Okay.
Let's say in progress.
Right.
We can add, let's say,
The typical ones, date and stuff as well, or
create time. Okay, I
okay.
created this person. We can add date to it. Bang, bang, and bang.
Hmm.
What else? How about I'm gonna add a checkbox, and
Right.
the list goes and goes and goes.
So,
Right.
okay, so at the bottom you've got calculate. What is that thing on the?
Okay, so every single one has calculate.
Okay.
So let's see. Calculate, count all values, count unique
Whoa.
values, count
So,
empty.
hold on a second. So you won't even need Excel anymore, as in basically some
Yeah,
of the
I
stuff I would have
mean,
done in pivot tables in Excel. This is now,
literally, I don't know how far the functionalities go in here, but I believe they would go quite complex.
yeah.
This is because you can even add a formula, specific formula.
Yo, This is
And
insane.
then you can see that that goes deeper. Do you know what I mean? Like, and this is for the coding geeks. Um,
Yeah.
why can't I extend this? So, length, live, join, flow, blah blah. Like,
Yeah, but this is a lot of the stuff that like I don't use Excel in a massively deep way. If I had a data set and I wanted to kind of figure out some basics of using pivot tables and stuff, so this seems like it may be able to do some of that, like
no,
a
no,
lot
it
of that.
seems like it definitely can do a lot of stuff. You
Yeah.
know, if you want to have complex databases and stuff with
Hmm.
relations and formulas, it can definitely handle this. You
Yeah.
know, yeah, I'm not gonna dwell too much on this because I've never used that to that extent. This is clearly a little bit more advanced,
Mm.
but it's there, you know. So if you need stuff like that, it's definitely there and it's worth exploring. So all the Excel whisperers, have a look at Notion.
Mm.
Yeah, you might just part ways with Excel. I don't know, maybe. But that database is here. It has a lot of different functionalities, as we can see from here.
Hmm.
AI custom fill. What's that? Want to generate? Let's see.
Tell AI to generate.
Movies.
Oh,
Or
wait. Say ask it to generate those star. The star. Who was the main actor or something? You know, like I mean,
let's see. But will that know?
let's see. They're
Cast auto
trying.
album page edits. Huh. Okay. That's
This is
that's
where you get.
bit more. Okay, so this is the AI, but that's fine. But let's
Yeah,
see.
yeah.
Try this. Whoa. What's happening here? Oh, holy shit! Wow.
This is what I'm talking about, man.
Okay, okay.
This is
So
what I'm
what
talking
just
about.
happened here?
Yeah, yeah.
Um, what just happened here? We let's just everyone stay calm now. So I created that list,
Yeah.
right? And that's I just used on the list on that database. Each of that entry has it's like a container for more information, right? So
Yep.
it's not just this.
Right.
This is the like the front of the information with the information characteristics that I've given it to.
Yep.
But each of those blocks has can have information within that, right? And I
Yep.
just used AI to populate those blocks, and the AI basically read the title of the movie, and upon my human request,
Two words. Main
um,
actors.
yeah, main actors, it just basically populated. What is this happening here? Why am I
How did you
clicking
get the
wrong?
view? So it populated the
Okay, yeah.
text text
Continue
property
editing. Yes.
of that entry with
Yeah.
the main actors in this include, and then a bullet point list,
Yeah.
and then
And
the
then the
name
bullet.
of the actor and the character that they played.
Oh
That's
God. Yeah, man. This is yeah. So as you can see, AI is all the way in there. So this is amazing. This
cool.
is really actually amazing. Imagine how useful would that be?
Yeah, like I think this is one of the reasons why we're doing this whole thing, right? Is that like at this point I can see that and I'm like, oh my God, that's crazy amazing. But like now I'm thinking of all the different things in my life, like actual functions where this would be useful. But then also like the workflows as well, because there's processes
Mm.
that people do on a regular basis that like maybe okay, so before you'd have gone into Excel, you'd have typed this all out, and then you'd be like, right, so now how do I take this information? You search the main character list, copy it, paste it. You have to check. This is literally, and you've for three. I mean, I'm guessing it's done it for all three of those entries. If you have a list of like 50 things, does that mean then you have like it's done all of that work? That's like that would have taken hours.
Oh yeah, I mean that
Do
would
you know what
have
I mean? It's in,
taken
this is that is
like
yeah. That's good. That's impressive.
That is very interesting. Of course, Ashley Waters, Duchesne Hill, Camera Study. That is very impressive. Of course, it probably makes okay, text AI.
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to do it instantly, right? But
But it's funny because on in Avatar,
mm.
it didn't put the name of the actors.
Yes, I
It
noticed
put the
that.
name of the characters, right? Update.
Ah, turn is
Oh,
respond.
okay.
Okay.
Okay. Well, this shit is not working. AI is shit on the free version of the software, right?
Yeah, and with your you gave it two whole words to work with, and
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
like, and it's not done it. That's not very good, is it? Computers are
Main
never going
I
to be
not
that
even a
useful.
question. Main actors. If I
Yeah,
if I said that to a human with that, they wouldn't know what to do,
not at all.
right? It's like, what do you mean? Like, well, shall I list the main actors?
And
Do I
then
know who the
even
main actors
in a
are?
in a page called movies that's about TV shows, it still it still did the same thing, right? As in like
Yeah,
it didn't
man.
even get that bit, like no errors, messages or alerts thrown up. Just here's some useful stuff.
Yeah, so
Awesome.
this is very impressive. So you know that
Yeah.
AI that it's kind of sprinkled through in and out on different
Yeah.
layers that you can use is actually very very impressive.
Wow. Yeah.
Um, so very really impressive stuff. So okay, so we have that table with our AI friend created with our friend AI.
Yeah.
But now, how about I want to? Okay, so this is one view. It's something that it's a list.
hmm
I want to see my data differently. How can I do that? You can, and it's actually pretty amazing because if I click that little plus here, I can see the same data displayed in a very different manner. And what I mean, it can be a board. So now this looks like Trello board where
Yeah.
you can move this stuff, and now that property of the status it works on the cards, and then you go here and you have updated the status,
Hold
right?
on. So when you even, I'm guessing then if you add a new column, it can update the cards, and it's updating the cards. Sorry,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's updating the table with the position in the columns. So basically, the
Yes,
update
yeah,
feature.
yeah, yeah. So
Ah,
it
okay.
works. So let's see in here.
So
Breaking
you've
Bad
moved all of them to not
football.
started, right? So that means that if you go back to the table version, you would see that they've all got not
Not
started.
found.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, and if I go and move that terminator to done, I
hmm
go to the table, it's done. So you see,
Wow.
you're interacting with one set of data,
hmm
like I mean, like the data set, by interacting with that data on a many different levels, which is, I
Yeah,
think, extremely useful
for sure.
because you can have complex databases
Yeah.
and you can interact with them as a project manager, as someone who wants to see a good overview what is happening,
Yeah.
or someone who wants to see a timeline, you know
Wow.
timeline to, okay, when the hell can I watch Breaking Bad? What about
Okay.
someone who likes to see everything like in cards or on a big massive
So,
board and stuff?
ah,
um right, so
so you can put images here, and then that will
yeah,
show
yeah,
up
you
as
can
like a
obviously
as a
put
gallery,
images in there.
and
Yeah,
you can click on it, and then it takes you to the main card.
yeah,
Ah,
yeah,
man.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, I mean, that is just truly beautiful.
Yeah, this is
Really beautiful.
that's
Um,
got some features that Trello like I think you can have different views in Trello. So the board is the first one, but it's not as yeah, it doesn't look as dynamic, flexible, or
yeah, yeah. No, no, of course. Trello is great, but it's more like a very focused
on that
thing.
particular
That's
yeah.
one thing does it well. But as you can
Mm,
see here, this is a next level stuff.
yeah.
One database interacting with that database on a literally very, very different levels, man. Um,
Yeah, like the calendar feature, the timelines, this is all. I wonder if then, okay, can you export? The calendar as an ICS, I wonder. I'm gonna look into this. Though this is all
Yeah,
kind of just
this is
moving.
something that
Yeah, yeah. Don't worry, it's not for
that
now,
yeah,
but for
this is
today.
something that we'll have to look up. But
Yeah.
um, yeah, so as you can see, and this is cool because you can even give those different views of that data, different icons.
Mm,
It's pretty cool. Um, yeah, okay. So you can see that this is some serious shit, right? And now, what's even more serious is that you can have different databases and you can have relation between those databases.
mm,
So if this, then that. If this happened to that item in this database, that database, the other database gets updated with something. Do you know what I mean? So those are dynamic databases, and you can set relations to, um, yeah, you can set relations between the databases, and this gets a little bit more advanced. But this just shows the power of what you can do with it. You know, so you have the pages, right?
yeah.
Within those pages you would have some sort of databases, and those databases can be interconnected between each other, and they can basically have relations, so they are dynamic, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so okay, let me just see the podcast journal, blah blah blah. Yeah. um So we went through pages, went through databases. You saw like the amount of functionality, and the complexity that you can achieve with that is actually very impressive, right? If I click on here,
Hmm.
templates, you will see a lot of different templates, and those templates are, um, you have all templates, live student, those are all from actual Notion, right? And you have them, for example, design sprint, Monday, blah blah
Ooh.
blah. This is
Yeah.
great, remote brainstorming.
Wow. Okay.
Summarize this page with AI. Next steps, find the
Oh.
action. Damn,
Oh.
I'm firing my whole team and I'm just getting subscription to Notion, like
Man.
user research database. Oh, jeez. Oh, look at those lovely icons, man. I love that. I love the fact that design portfolio, that you can add those things, that you can have those emojis and stuff. I seriously believe that this is extremely important for the user interaction, and
Yeah.
it's not only about making things pretty, it's actually usability, and quick recognition of this and
Mm.
that. And it's just much nicer to use looking at the image, because you digest and consume an image or an icon way quicker than you consume text,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
um so you have all of those templates here.
Hmm.
Habit tracker. Do you have good habits? Around today, meditated, got 8 hours of sleep, journaled, bang bang bang. You see, I mean, basically it can literally live your life for you.
Wow. And so when you said that these are made by Notion, does
Those
then
are, yeah, more from the community. Click, and we have template gallery, and this is the community. Submit a template,
wow.
and you have shitloads of templates from the actual community, and you have
Okay.
like those progress bars. Like, this is
You can
really
build
cool.
progress bar.
It's, yeah, so those are duplicate template. Let's see, duplicate template, smart goals tracker.
Oh wow, so the colors and everything. Even whether the sidebar menu is open or not, right? Is in.
Sorry,
The
the
sidebar is this this is in your Notion, right?
yeah, this is Notion, but
Because
this
yeah,
is
the sidebar is. Did you
yeah,
hide it or is it
this is
hidden?
just web version because it
Yeah,
just
yeah. Oh,
automatically
okay. All right.
open
Cool, cool,
in a
cool.
web version. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um.
It just changes the feel of it completely. It doesn't. It
Oh
feels
yeah,
like
so
a.
that doesn't feel like Notion exactly. Well, this one is styled by this guy, right?
Yeah.
Um. Ghost Tracker, which is smart emoji version. Let's see this one. Okay. Get muscles. Oh, look at how beautiful is that, mate.
Yeah. So I'm guessing that even that feature, that progress bar, is something that is existing within Notion, but this guy's done is worked into a
Yeah, so
full
those
like
are the more
suite.
kind of more advanced stuff that people are adding,
Mm,
but you see you can do this stuff.
yeah,
So you can get those templates, you can probably code them your own if you bothered,
yeah,
but there are people who are in love with that and they just fucking go for it. Do you know what I mean?
man, yeah.
Like just open that again. um Personal finance planning. Yes, the marketing, HR, and people.
So there's like basically I'm getting from this that there's almost a template for almost anything you can think of. And
Yeah.
if you really, really, really can't find your super obscure template and you care that much, you can make it yourself. Like
Yes,
that's
pretty much.
awesome. And I'm also kind of
Education.
wondering how I've missed this because there seems to be like a whole community or like
Yeah.
massive.
It's like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah. When did this happen?
Yeah, man. Like, look at that. You look at this, and they look great.
Yeah.
They look great. What I'm saying is like, look, you can make that, and that looks really cool in terms of like you can make it really your own, or you
And
can find a template that really kind of resonates with you.
and also that's useful because when you're talking before about guests and allowing people to like come into it, if you've got like sometimes when you make something, you're a tech inclined person, let's say,
Yeah,
you will find a nice tool like this and you'll want people to be able to benefit from it. But you remember that we mentioned there's like that little hurdle of being able to learn how it works first. I think
yeah.
this really can facilitate that, make it easy for them to kind of
Oh yeah,
like, you don't necessarily have to have them set it all up. You could just have them interact in certain places, but you can be very specific. Do this here, try and kind of, you can leave the comments and
yeah,
the points and the emojis to kind of lead them to the right, what's the word? Give them the user experience, direct them on the user experience pathway, right? And
yeah.
but I mean, so is there how do you go about sharing it with people? How do you go about like helping getting people into your notion to kind of interact?
So, um, okay, so just little digression here. So some
Mm.
of them are free, and people are. It's a market. People sell them. Obviously, they put work into
Oh,
it, so
yeah.
you can create your own badass templates and sell it. Yeah,
Mm.
I mean, I can already see people. Oh, geez, you have to pay for it. You
Yeah,
got bloody whole software for free
but
plus AI integration for free. There are some limitations with AI, and now you want to get
hold on.
free templates.
Also, looking at it on a kind of meta level, it's a free software. But if that's a free software where you can sell stuff, you can actually be selling stuff and making money from it too.
Yeah,
So it seems.
yeah,
But
yeah,
then also, like, I guess that it's on the other level that, like, HTML essentially is free software. But if someone makes a really cool website and you want to
yeah,
use it, you pay them for that as well. So like, it's
yeah,
just
yeah, yeah, yeah.
people have made software essentially within this software, which is
Yeah,
as well
yeah,
kind of
yeah,
different
pretty
thing.
much. That's pretty much the thing.
Yeah.
So, going back to your question,
Mm,
um, how can you? Okay, so let's go back to that page that I created, YouTube video.
right.
And YouTube video, you had that one page. Yeah, I'm gonna
Hmm.
add an icon here.
It's got to be a duck, man. Surely
Then this is gonna be a duck.
it's money. Okay, got that.
Change cover, unsplash ducks.
Thank you. Okay. Yeah. Go on. Oh no, the
Well,
yellow ones.
that didn't crop well, did it?
Nah, the yellow ones. It's got to be the yellow ones. Yellow
Oh no,
tokens.
man, no, not the yellow ones. I want a real deal, man. The
Fine.
okay. Um, in here we have that database, the link to that database. How about I'm just moving that block right to the top, and I'm
Okay.
gonna click on this, and I have my beautiful database, right?
Come for the
Uh,
ducks, you stay for the movies and TV
yeah,
jokes, I
those
guess.
are the movies that Dax watch the most these days in London, of course.
Yeah.
Uh, okay, I want, for example, a Dax from Peckham to contribute to that list. Yeah.
Okay.
So what I'm gonna do is use this share functionality. Share,
Hmm.
publish, publish to web, and then
This page is
allow
live on the
editing.
web, so
Yeah,
you can.
view site, bang, and then like look at that, and this is on the web,
So you
and
can.
you can send that link to people, and they can interact with that. They can view it and edit it,
Wow.
and it's just right there. So, I mean, it's like literally how many times your mind blown today? It's
Yeah.
just, is there
This
anything
is
left to be blown?
because basically this is like if you could then take a note, you can process it, you can use the AI stuff, you can format it into a
Yeah,
view that like a table and put it in a board, a gallery, whatever, and then you can provide people with all of these essentially. Like what's the there's not really that much difference between hosting your own website and doing some of this stuff, right? Isn't it's just like if you want your own URL, I guess you can basically
yeah,
do all the stuff and more because if you wanted to do that stuff on a website, you have to work out like whichever Squarespace or like whatever
yep,
editing thing. And if you wanted to code it yourself, good luck with that, right?
yeah. And like as you can see here, no, I can't see the kind of custom domain here, but I'm sure you can link it to a custom domain.
Oh, I
But that's
see.
probably would be more of a premium feature.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
would, I
No, no,
would
for
say
sure.
that. Yeah, so set domain, set your own pages.
You can put your own domain in there.
No, no, yeah, but it's gonna
Yeah,
have a
it'll cost
dot
you.
Notion site. Yeah.
No, that's not too bad, you know, because if it's like a like, do you know, the sort of thing before, like say you were doing some kind of I don't know, public project in your local area to
Oh yeah,
plant
yeah,
trees
yeah.
or something. You just wanted to people to donate to this thing, and you don't want to go through the whole thing of like go on GoDaddy and blah blah blah. You just want
Yeah,
to have a little page where you can see the progress, see how much money's been raised, and tell people about it and who they need to contact, and that can do that. Fundmytrees.notion.site. That's awesome.
yeah, 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 definitely. So
Mm,
that brings me to basically a conclusion
hmm.
that Notion is a fucking badass software, man, and there is no way of denying that because whatever you can think about, like there's no way of denying. You look at what they've done, the modularity of it, the integrations, the way that they think about data and how you interact with it, and different ways of interactions and different functionalities within data sets, then ability to share that, to collaborate with
Mm,
others, invite people to your team. I didn't even touch upon the create a team space and stuff like that, where you this is made for, it's fairly new feature for the teams. It's ridiculously powerful software, and that there is a reason they have almost 2,000 5-star reviews on product
mm,
hunt.
mm.
And I know some people who, as I said, literally organize their whole life is in Notion,
Yeah, I
from
can see that.
what kind of socks that they buy to, you know, to their girlfriend list. That's more
I
on
don't
the
even want.
creepy
Yeah, nah,
spectrum.
like let's. I don't. Don't even
Yeah.
want to know.
I don't know, but seriously,
But you could basically, you can. It's almost endlessly flexible. It's very shareable. It's like
yeah,
I'm raring to go. I'm gonna I'm gonna start
yeah, and
notioning my
the
life immediately
exactly,
after this.
And the stuff, if you really get into it, and you do that, people spend ages to customize their own template, and they have a live dashboard,
Yeah.
man.
But this
Literally
is,
live dashboard.
and actually this that's one of the things, right? Is in it I guess it's one of the things we kind of we know that we value is the ability to kind of not just have a tool, but to actually make it useful and functional in your own life. And it
Yeah.
sounds like this basically gives you a level of, what's the word? It can bring all of the different elements together where you can kind of see everything. So you get all of the key bits out of your head, so you don't have to worry about them, focus on them. It's good for your well-being. We all know this. But then like having keeping track of things and kind of keeping a view of that works for you in your individual context. I think that's super important as well. So I'm gonna
No,
be trialing it and then recommending it. Actually, I think we discussed this before, but like I think like the idea of like so now I've seen it. Have a like a week later, like how did what was what was my experience with Notion? How well did I manage to
will
Notionize
you
my life?
become a Notion evangelist?
Yeah.
Will you, look, so as I can't emphasize this enough, like
Mm.
Notion is not sponsoring this video, or they not paying me anything
But
like
if they
that.
want to send any money, I
Yeah,
mean,
go to www.i3, yeah.
yeah,
um it's basically, it's a beautiful piece of software, man.
mm,
And it, the power that it comes with, it's tremendous. And some people can really use that to an unbelievable extent. and and it's great, and it's great, and it becomes kind of a part of you. I know
mm,
I'm getting a little bit romanticizing that a little bit,
mm,
but in terms of, I like kind of have stuff documented from my
mm,
life. Yeah, so for example, the books I've read, and this and that, and like, oh, I have it in my head, I remember that. No, you don't.
mm.
um do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
how much stuff can you actively recall?
yeah,
Especially like, you know, like a
exactly.
book I read last year, like how much of it can I recall? But if you, the things I thought about it though, if you have somewhere to put them,
Yeah, exactly. Have you had the situations like that? You're watching a movie, and halfway through a movie, it's like, fuck, I've seen that movie.
yes, yeah, I had it the other day.
It's like,
Yeah,
Jesus, man, what the
yeah,
hell? um yeah, so give it a go.
yeah,
Amazing software. They keep updating that. They added the AI. You can customize it. Um, it's I believe it's definitely, is it easy to use? It is, if you learn how to use it,
yeah,
right?
yeah. I mean,
If you're looking for simple note taking app, don't use it. Use
mm.
something else. Use Google Docs. I don't
Or
know.
or Notepad.
A notepad. Yeah, use go to Tesco's, get £2 notepad,
Yeah, Biro.
get, yeah, and use that, and that's gonna be great, and it's a beautiful technology as well.
Uh,
But it's not gonna, it's, you don't
not gonna
have the
offer the
space bar
flexibility and
and the AI integration. You don't have that.
yeah,
Unfortunately, Tesco hasn't yet implemented AI in their
it's
1990
early.
notebooks.
Give them time.
Yeah,
Give
the,
them time.
the pen should be integrated with AI. It's just
You say that, don't give Apple ideas, right?
yeah.
They've already got a new product to work on and pitch and sell. Don't
Yeah,
worry about
man.
them. All right,
Well,
cool. This has
anyway,
been
yeah,
really useful.
let's wrap this up. And yeah, this, I highly recommend that to you. I use it. My girlfriend uses it. My grandmother uses it. No, I'm kidding. She doesn't use it. She passed away, and she never
Oh
used
no.
it. And I don't think she would. Anyway, we're going into a different. We're
Yeah,
going
yeah.
into a
It went a
weird.
bit dark. I don't know if edit that bit out. Someone edit
Yeah.
that bit out. All right.
Look, um, just going back to my grandmother.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, if she saw an AI doing shit, she would think that's a fucking alien,
Yeah, this is the thing. These little
because
three
I
stars, they
don't.
look like magic, right? And it
It
kind
does
of
look like
is.
magic.
You could convince someone that it is magic doing this if they, from if they're not from the time. Okay, the computers thing would be whole thing anyway. But then once they'd accepted that, they would still find this
If
crazy.
you started chatting to an AI and stuff, she would be just convinced that it's a human being. I don't think it would be like, grandma, it's an artificial intelligence. Like, what the fuck you on about, mate?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So okay, this is so then that maybe comes back to the other thing of like, well, what like how new some of those features are. So like the new ones with the stuff that you can do that's beyond what we can you could I guess with a bit where we're still wrapping our heads around, okay, so you can have it write the list of main actors. What does that mean? Does that mean like
Yeah.
you can get it to do other stuff? What stuff am I calculating that's taking me time right now? Like I have to kind of look at my own processes, my own like my workflows and be like, okay, well, which bits do I need help with? Where can it help me the most? Where's the extra value could the extra value come in? And that's something that like I'm going to be
Yeah,
thinking
so,
about a
so
lot.
this is a really good point that you're making. That, so to me, it's basically, this is that kind of attitude situation here. So how much time do you have to spend investigating and learning that new technology,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
To then automate or enhance your workflow. Because some people would be like, oh my god, I have to learn this new thing. I need to just get going with my work. And
Mm,
I personally know, um, some artists and designers or graphic designers, that they would prefer to stick, and they proficient with all the software and stuff, but they hate to new shit,
mm,
to learn new shit, and they would stick with the way they know it, despite the fact that it's tedious, as
yes.
opposed to look up a new tool and trying to figure it out, the new tool, because it 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 demands more brain power.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I have to look up, I need to think differently, I need to figure it out, all the kinks, how the new, for example, tools in Photoshop work. And it's like, no,
Yeah.
let's just do it the way we always did it. We know it works. I know how to do it. And mindlessly, they just go and do it. And this is quite kind of, I don't want to say sad because it's derogatory, but I'm
Mm,
going to say it anyway. It's kind of sad because this is, yeah, it's an attitude problem, because if you don't invest, if you don't have this attitude of trying always see, okay, can I do it better, can I use the newest tech or some tech to help me with this or that,
mm.
um and you do have to invest that time, and sometimes you have to invest a lot of time, and then it clicks and it just skyrockets,
Yeah, but
right?
Rob, this is where we talk about martial arts now, right? Because it's the same sort of concept, is that when you're learning a technique, it's like it's hard initially, right? Isn't something new, you get used to it and you get comfortable, and it's like a comfort zone thing. But a lot of the time people don't want to be outside their comfort zone, but we know you need to be moving out on the edge at least of your comfort zone, preferably outside so that you can grow. And that there's the whole thing about like, oh, the crabs that abandon their shell or whatever. That's someone else can look that anecdote up. But like the point is that if you when you move outside your comfort zone and you grow, you change. Therefore, the way that you interact with everything else can also change. So you constantly, as you grow, you should be assessing everything and being like, well, is there now a time for me to look at a new thing? Because if you grow, you progress, you change, and simply by doing things again and again, you develop a proficiency that makes you capable of doing more later on anyway. So like time is always a factor in just like figuring out whether that it's time to add something new in or try a new approach for something. So I yeah definitely agree that it's being set in your ways and being kind of relaxed with that. I think both of us is something the things that we don't necessarily like we don't like as much. We always
No,
want to
no,
be
I
pushing.
definitely, obviously, but I think our example is might be a little bit different because we like much into technology. So
Mm,
I get excited just by the fact that I have to figure out new technology. This is for me the kind of exciting bit. Where for other people, it's a lot of like, oh my god, I have to figure this shit out now. It's like I want to stick to what I know and this and that. So I believe I get other people that they're not. So that's why I say it's an attitude, not
mm,
than anything else,
yeah.
right? But I think this applies more than ever today. And this is because you see the AI capabilities with all of this stuff. You see the amazing software that integrates AI. If you're not going to have this attitude, or you won't be asking those questions, how can I do it in a better way, or more efficient, more productive? It's not all about efficiency and
Mm.
productivity, but I'm just saying, how can I make utilize those new technologies? You will stay behind. I mean, if there is no question, you will just stay behind.
Yeah, and I think I think it's difficult because a lot of people and this is again part of our reason for doing this, right? They see that like they recognize that they know that like things are moving, there's ways that they can improve and change, but just like that it's hard to know where to start and how to do that and how to like okay, so there's Notion exists, I know. So I go onto the website. Wait, I don't know how to do the thing I wanted to do in 5 minutes. Maybe I'm gonna go away. Like I've spent 5 minutes and I don't know what to do. I wish someone could explain it to me or something. And like I guess that's what we're trying to do with this, right? So we're trying to
Yeah.
facilitate that process
Mm.
so that people know that okay, there's an entry point. And even I was trying to explain this to people before in my job that like if you look at you look at maybe you're a researcher, for instance, and you look at your research and you think, I know I'm an expert in that, I'm cool, that's good. But then AI comes along and people say, well, I don't know anything about AI. I'm not a machine learning expert. I don't do, like you feel like, oh, I need to go and do a whole course and study, etc. But it's actually a lot of these technologies, the way that it works isn't the case that you have to like go and learn a whole brand new thing. You're just looking at the things that you do through the lens of artificial intelligence. So you're
Yeah.
basically applying that layer, like you said, sprinkling it through rather than in doing this whole new thing. You don't need to suddenly go on a 6-week course before you can touch a touch a
Yeah.
touch the software. You
Yeah.
like look at the tasks that you're trying to do and think, okay, where can we start plugging AI into that? And then before you know it, you're off and it's all starting to make sense.
Yeah, yeah. So that, like, my girlfriend was the perfect example of that. So she's okay with technology and stuff.
Mm.
She's a designer as well. So she doesn't have problems like, oh my God, it's not working. I mean, sometimes, but and then
She's
she calls me. But usually she's very good with all the tech and stuff.
yeah,
And I would, but when I tell her like, look at that new feature and this and that, she's like, okay, it's great. I gotta go and cook dinner. Like, she doesn't get that excited and stuff. But
yeah,
when I showed her Chat GPT, was the
yeah,
only time she got actually like, okay, you can't believe, yeah, I asked Chat GPT, that was a few days after, to write me a training plan, and it came back with that. I spoke to my personal trainer that, look, I might not need him anymore, and this and that. And I'm just like, it was clearly like, and she has a window of Chat GPT open, and whatever she has a question and stuff, she asked her, man. And I
standard,
get
pin
I
it.
get so I get way less questions right now. It's amazing.
Thank God they made ChatGPT. You get less questions. Just
Yeah,
for that. That's the main reason they started the
that's
whole
the main
OpenAI
reason.
project. Then yeah, so thank you very much. Thanks, Matt, for the walkthrough or something. And then
My
okay, go. All
pleasure.
right, that's it. Yo, thank you very much. That's been now a Notion convert. I'm gonna go and be notioning everything in my life in immediately after this call.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
just
have
please
lunch first, but
pass me your credit card details, and then we can finalize.
yeah,
Uh,
I'll send them by email.
um, just remember that the yearly subscription, you can save up to 3%.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I'm not sure. This doesn't sound legit. So let me just I'll go with the free version for now, and then I'll let you
and
know how I get on.
yeah, you pass me the card details, and you'll get an email from a Nigerian prince. Don't be alarmed.
My uncle! Tell him I said hi. Tell him I said hi. Tell him I'll see him in Lagos in the winter.
I got that email before, man. I got that email
Yeah,
before.
man. We've all had that email before. But anyway, thank you very much for the thanks for the walkthrough. And this is like
Yeah,
one
no
of the
worries.
first of these. We'll hopefully do more on other
Yes.
softwares, right? So
Please visit
yeah,
i3 Labs. The link is on that outro that we're gonna put.
yeah.
And yeah, see you next time.
Layers, peace.
Peace.